Hello, crafters and gamers. Welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. I am Martin, and today I want to show you guys a couple of little things, give you a little update about my new scratch building, and this involves clay. So we're going to look at a couple of examples of things that I've made for my games, and I also want to welcome new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining. And if you have been with us for a while, like I know many of you have, welcome back and thanks for supporting the channel for so long. So what I want to do is just show you guys some of the new scratch builds and a little update on the clay Starships. I'm very busy today because I'm trying to get some of my 1/72 scale miniatures painted because I do have some games coming up and I have some new armies to show. So I want to get that painted, and then I have a new starship here. This is a clay starship, and this is one that I did with my patrons. Okay, the video for this is in my Patreon, and that's another way you can support the channel if you wish. Join our Patreon or head over to War Games Vault, and I do have my Scratch Builder monthly magazine, which I hope to release December's issue within the next couple of days. And December's issue is actually close to 70 pages, so it's a lot more stuff in it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. So those are a couple of ways you guys can support the work that I do. Now, these are the clay starships that I showed in a previous video, and I'm just painting them right now. I've been working on those as well, trying to finish them up. And then I'll be finishing this fleet, the fleet that I started with this ship. And this is going to be Julie's fleet. This is going to be my fleet. My fleet's already finished. And then we're going to add some very small fighter squadrons to this so that we can play some Warfleets FTL with clay starships. I thought that would be pretty interesting. Plus any other spaceship games that we want, we can use our clay starships now. So here is the X-Wing fighter, and this is a clay / card hybrid. That's what I call it. And basically, we have cardboard wings or cardstock. It's that really thick cereal card. It's that thick cereal card that makes the wings. And then the hull and the engines and all the other details are clay. Okay, and these weapons are actually made from the wire of paper clips because it's nice and strong. So pretty cool. I'm happy with it. It even has a little R2 unit, which was made out of green stuff, little blob of green stuff. You can kind of see it, the little blue there, and it's still drying, the ink wash that I did for the detail. So that'll hopefully dry soon. It has a pretty good detail, and it's a nice little gaming piece. Here is the Y-Wing, which I'm still working on. This still needs work. And then I'll have another X-Wing that's coming. And this is the way it starts. Okay. And I got to add the other part of the engines, and then I can bake this. And then I'll finish it up after that. There's two more X-Wings coming, so I'll have 3 X-Wings and a Y-Wing, and then possibly a couple of A-Wings, because Julie really liked the A-Wing. So the first important thing is this, okay? This is really what the first little secret that I have, and I know it sounds silly, but it's the first little secret to building all of the starships, not just the Star Wars ones, but all the starships that we see here. This is just cocktail sticks. I buy them at my local dollar store. A pack for 300 of 300 is $1. And so I trim one of the sticks. For the X-Wings, I use 2 inches of stick. That's my armature. And then the regular, this becomes the flight stand, and this is just a regular size stick. I snip off the sharp tip a little bit so that it's I'm getting more of the rounder you know, more of the thicker part of the stick to attach this. Now this is attached with Avi's resin clay. Avi's is very strong. Aves, I keep saying Avi's like a bird, but it's Aves. I guess that's how you pronounce it. But Aves clay, and this comes in little containers, and I use very little of it, so it actually turns out to be a lot cheaper than green stuff. And I use that clay for this one. Usually make them the day before that I know I'm gonna make a sculpture, and I assemble it like this. Just put a little blob of that clay and then flatten it as much as I can and let it dry a full 24 hours before I do anything with it. This is forms a very strong little armature that I can then, if I need to put pressure, a little bit of pressure on things, right, when I'm smoothing, okay, or cutting or doing whatever, that little stick really holds together. And it's what really gives you the sturdiness to be able to shape things, because that's really the main thing that stopped me from doing this in the past was the armature. And so instead of actually using an armature, remember the armature is the skeleton of your sculpture, but instead of using an armature that is actually shaped like the ship, all it is one straight piece, and then I can add whatever to it later. All right, well, second secret, that was the first secret, is the little armature. Second secret, if we look over here, I have a bunch of Sculpey products. And the most important one for these ships has been Sculpey glue. This is actually clay glue, and you can bake it. This is fully bakeable. This clay does not need to be baked in order for it to dry. It will dry by air, and it's actually pretty strong. These little side parts here were glued, and so some of the little canopy there is glued. And I apply glue to the armature, to the stick here, apply glue to the stick, and then put my initial clay on there and cover the stick entirely. Make sure that that clay, it has no air, that there's no air in there, and the glue simply tightens everything up. So this is the other secret, and this I bought from Amazon. It came in a set of different things, and I'm going to be reviewing this a little later. I already started in Scratchbuilder Monthly for December, but this has been very, very useful. The other thing, scissors. That's right, bent cuticle scissors. Very important tool. I actually use it to cut clay, and that's how I get these sections that are very straight. I started off by cutting the clay, just like I would anything else, a piece of paper or anything. These are cuticle scissors. You get these either in a pharmacy, most likely a pharmacy like Rite Aid here in the United States, or CVS, or Walmart. You know, if you go to the beauty section of Walmart, there's a lot of these kinds of little scissors. And this works great because it's bent. So, you know, if I need to cut a piece of clay, right, such as this little piece, it's sticking out, I cut it, and you get a nice straight kind of little piece there that I can then tool and make even straighter. Okay, now this only works for certain things. There are other times when I use the more traditional X-Acto blade to cut things, so, and to chip off a little bit as the clay gets more firm. As you leave it in the air, you can actually chip off sections to make it a little straighter and everything with the X-Acto blade. Okay, so this is another of my secrets. This incredible tool, this magic marker, is excellent because as long as you're careful with it, you can use it as a rolling pin, and it really smoothens stuff out because it's such a smooth surface in and of itself. You could get thinner markers for smaller surface areas, or you can use the neck of your tools as well as kind of a rolling pin. Some of these tools will have the neck in such a shape that it will help smoothing. All right, so here's the Y-wing. Y-wing needs work yet. It is bigger than the X-wing. Y-wings are a little bit bigger, and depending on the model of the Y-wing, they can be pretty big or they can be smaller, more compact, closer to the size of the X-wing. I forget what model I chose, what variant, and I'm not sure if it's a canonized variant or whatever, but I chose a slightly larger one. Okay, because it is a fighter bomber. So very interesting, and this is definitely teaching me a lot. And you will see the finished Star Wars squadrons. There's a lot more armatures back there for different things that I want to make. And we have my ship collection that is slowly building up here, and that's for my clay starships. We will be playing some Starship games with those. Thank you so much, guys. We'll talk very soon. And look out for MJ Hobby Talk. That is our next video. Have a great one, guys.